got a lot of respect for Coach Hurley and his program. Again, 11 years at a spot in this climate, man, says a lot. Odom's a handful, and they put so much pressure on you in transition and can spread you out. And I really do feel like Jop is going to be an NBA player one day. I mean, honestly, with his versatility and his touch and how well he moves. I thought they were the more aggressive team to start the game. They kind of had us on our heels. They beat us to loose balls, didn't do a good job rebounding the ball. And then I think slowly but surely we were able to kind of get our footing and defensively executed better. Obviously, Eaglestaff was huge in the first half, keeping us afloat when we were really, really struggling. And then I thought the response in the second half as a group was big. I thought Lorient was incredible in the second half. Chance Moore made some big plays. Really every player that played, made some monster plays. And thought one of the biggest plays was when DJ Thomas went and dug out a loose ball when we were maybe up 2 or 3, and then we were able to make a 3 after that, and just never really relinquished from there. So hard-fought win, and we'll take it.
Questions, please. What do you think was said during halftime that really stuck with the team?
We have a mature group. Those guys have played a lot of basketball. We haven't played a lot of basketball together, but collectively they've played a lot of basketball. So, it was really more, it wasn't like an aggressive tone, or you didn't really have to challenge them that much. It was, we didn't feel like we had played very well, in particular defensively. They shot 58% from 2, 50% from the 3, and we were only down by 2. So in a lot of ways, we felt fortunate to be in that situation and just knew we had to play better.
How much did you change in strategically in the second half?
No, we really didn't. I just felt like we executed a little bit better. Again, to their credit, I'm never going to be the coach that gets up here and only talks about what we didn't do well. You got to give the other team credit. And I thought early they were just faster than us and quicker than us, and we didn't do a good job in our ball screen coverages. We weren't physical enough, and Odom was kind of just getting wherever he wanted to get and finding people and making threes, and he's a really good player, and you got to put him in tight space. And I thought the second half we just did a better job executing what we were trying to do.
Coach, you kind of touched on how you had some guys outside of Huff that really stepped up for you offensively tonight, with 3 other starters playing above their average. What does it say about your team and you guys' ability to kind of play up to moment despite number 1 guy not playing?
Yeah, I think really all year long. I mean, Honor's probably been our most consistent player on a night-in, night-out basis, but all those other guys have had big games in big moments, And, again, the more ways you can win a game, probably the better. And, he gets so much attention that opens up the floor for other people, and those guys, stepped into those moments really well.
How much of an emphasis coming into this game was the 3-point shot, 11 for 24 tonight from downtown?
Yeah, some of it is you kind of take what the defense gives you. They're an aggressive defense. They cause turnovers. If you can be strong with the ball, and again, a guy like Honor Huff did a good job of being a secondary playmaker. He had in hockey. Do you guys know about hockey in Arizona? Yeah, y'all do now, right? I'm sorry, but in hockey they actually give you an assist if you pass it to the guy that passes it to the guy that scores. And I thought Honor did a good job of that. They put 2 on him. He was able to pass the ball, and Harlan and Bilo and DJ, those are all good facilitators in the pocket, and they were able to move the ball to the open guys. And then again, Eaglestaff and Huff can both make difficult ones when you kind of needed them to, and then the other ones I thought we just shot the right ones,
Do you feel like this was another learning point in the season for the team as far as Big 12 road win and then learning how to finish again? Is this another stepping stone?
Yeah, again, I mean, it's unfortunate that time will probably run out on this group, and that's kind of the nature of college athletics now, because you just don't have them very long. And so, yeah, you're going to be every day is kind of still of a learning experience, you know. And again, I felt like some of I've mentioned this before, some of those games earlier in the year that we weren't able to finish, that we played really well for long stretches and then just didn't have the closing punch. We've kind of flipped it a few times now where we were able, maybe we didn't play great for stretches of the game, but we were able to finish.
This is your first win away from Morgantown as head coach of West Virginia. You got a pretty tough one coming up in Tucson. How do you carry tonight's performance into the next game?
Yeah, you just, you kind of, I mean, the Big 12's so tough. I mean, in my opinion, it's the third best basketball league on the planet. The NBA, the Euro League, and then the Big 12. So it's like coach speak, you know, but you do kind of have to stay like process oriented, whether we would have lost this game tonight or win, you know, you kind of have to stay in the same mode of got to get recovery tonight. Tomorrow will be a travel day. And like I said, we've been close a couple times away from Morgantown. We just weren't able to finish it. So happy for those guys. And again, I think we learned from those experiences and just had really good responses, man. Like Brendan Lorian in particular, he was with me at North Texas and, you know, really challenged him early on in that game. Didn't think he started the game like he should, and he just had an incredible response, man. So that's what you're looking for, is because you're going to hit adversity, whether it's in games or swings or and how do you respond?
Can you talk about being process-oriented? What's that process like when you're facing a team that plays the way ASU does, then suddenly a team that plays the way U of A does to prepare? You mentioned the recovery, but what is that kind of like to keep your guys back?
Yeah, it's again, that's the challenge, man. You know, I worked for Coach Larry Eustace for 5 years, and he was at Iowa State and won the Big 12 twice, and he had a great saying, and it was true. You know, he would say, sometimes the problem isn't you. Sometimes the problem is who you have to play and where you have to play them. But with that being said, yeah, you'll get back, you'll get treatment. You'll start talking about their personnel a little bit, watching film on them, and try to come up with a game plan that you feel like gives you a chance, you know, in going into a very difficult venue against a team that could win a national championship.
Coach, by the end of the game, there were very audible chants for West Virginia. What was that like hearing those fans so far away from Morgantown?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. We really do have, you know, one of the best fan bases in the country, if not the best fan base in the country, and you know, they're passionate. They care so much. There's 1.8 million people in the state. No pro sports teams. You know, again, I grew up in Dallas, so you have like the Cowboys and the Stars and the Rangers and the Mavericks and TCU and SMU and Texas Tech and Texas A&M. West Virginia, you have West Virginia, and you know, they say it a lot there. There's like always a West Virginia connection, and I'm always amazed whether I'm going through airports or whatever, how many people you run into that were West Virginia alums or had a brother or had an uncle, and so to see them out here and you know, feeling their presence and their help is awesome.
We'll take one more.
Coach, these are two teams that play at very different tempos. You guys held ASU to a season low of only 63 possessions in this game. How important was it for you guys to stick to your morals and play your own game?
Yeah, I mean, we I think again it speaks to like the maturity of our players and their buy-in and their commitment to doing what we're asking them to do. We didn't feel like coming in here and getting into a track meet with these guys was going to give us our best chance to win, you know. You got to be efficient offensively, which we ended up being. And then because it's twofold, again, it's not football, so it's not like you don't get a stop and then your offense runs on the field. It's all tied in together. So can you be efficient offensively? Can you take care of the basketball? And then can you get back and get your defense set? And we've proven that, in, you know, when we can keep our defense in the half court and execute what we're trying to do, we've been good.
Coach, thank you.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Y'all be safe.